Happy Halloween, everyone! Welcome to the first shiny hunt-ish video here, and I thought, what better Pokemon the shiny hunt than something not spooky? Unless you find Hatsune Miku horrifying.
I've come to steal your soul.
Today I'm going to try completing the Pokedex of Scarlet and Violet in Pokemon Home for a shiny Meloetta, which is not only a cool thing to have, but it's also the first time it's legitimately shiny. My name is Green, and let's begin. Now, I already completed the Pokedexes a while ago, except for the Blueberry one, which I did before starting this challenge. When I started it, I also had some members of evolutionary lines. I found a shiny one, and I bred for the Pokemon, or Blueberry Quest forced me to catch it, even though I didn't need it. I also wanted to put a counter showing how many shinies I catch, because it's bound to happen, and the amount I have is so unreal. Before those who watch other YouTubers ask, yes, I'm subbed to PM7, so the luck is real. Now first, I wanted to organize my boxes into groups of Pokemon organized by Paldea, Kitakami, and Blueberry Pokedexes that don't repeat, excluding for Executor. Some Pokemon lines shocked me that I had the entire line. I have the full Teddiursa line, which I forgot that I wanted to see if you had a Teddiursa by breeding the Blood Moon Ursaluna with Ditto. Spoiler alert, you can. I have an Eevee that I think I caught in a raid, which I don't remember doing. I also have the entire Pikachu line, which is shocking, pun intended, since I don't really remember getting a Pichu or Pikachu. I know it's not Blueberry Quest because Pikachu is not in the main Blueberry Dex. Besides the Paradox Legendaries exclusive to Scarlet, Koraidon, and Iron Leaves, I had all but one line. I knew why I didn't have the line because I did the trade for a Haunter to Gengar from someone who isn't Mindy. So that's the only Pokemon I have to get, besides having to ask Jay to borrow some Pokemon for this. We'll first cover the main Paldea Pokedex, then the Kitakami Pokedex, and then the Blueberry Pokedex. And first on the list is Cubchoo. Now, the backstory to this is I wanted to get a shiny Alolan Vulpix from the version exclusive outbreak thing. I couldn't find one. I made an ice type sandwich and didn't want to waste it because I forgot to save before making the sandwich, like a complete idiot. So what I decided to do was go to Glaciata Mountain and look for ice types, because it was an ice type encounter sandwich. After a long while, I found a shiny Cubchoo, which I promptly named Heather. Any Unova Pokemon I catch in this will be named after musicals, referencing the fact that there's Pokemon musicals in this. So, there we go. That's how those names are for backstory. From there, I went from area to area, looking for Pokemon I didn't have, even getting multiple evolutions. I decided to first tackle Poké Path, catching at least one of every Pokemon, but 2 with 3 evolutionary lines. However, where do you level up any of the Pokemon easily? In my opinion, the best area is near the Fairy Team Starbase or the Savannah biome in the Indigo Disk. There, Chansey spawns, which is the best Pokemon to grind off of. Additionally, Blissey has a chance to spawn in the Savannah biome, so it's another option if one spawns. Now yes, they run, but if you catch up to them and beat them with a fighting type move, you're good to go. Here's why I recommend it. I sadly can't play the audio since at the time I forgot to mute the background audio. So basically in the entire clip, Break Up With Your Girlfriend by Ariana Grande was on. To sum it up, from one Chansey in the 50s, I got a Scatterbug, a Hoppip, and a Fletchling I had in the party to evolve. Now, to sum up the first session, not really much has happened except for that shiny Cubchoo from earlier. I was just catching Pokemon and evolving them for the Living Dex formation. I ended up evolving a Pawmi into Pawmo and called it a day. Session 2 started with me doing the same exact thing I did yesterday, which will be a common thing.
Obviously.
Everything was going well, but I realized that an Azuro I caught in South Providence Area 1 isn't very loving. It didn't seem too happy with me just catching Pokemon and nothing else. But I found something amazing. Wild Marill. I caught one because screw the friendship evolution. It's just completely. It's a big pain in the butt every single time. I had to do it to get a shiny Azuro I got when I was shiny hunting Magikarp to get an Azumarill. It's bad. I was just happy I was able to do it. Like, I was benching it, so we're good. Now everything kept going to similar how it was going before, until I was in South Providence Area 3, where all I did was catch Pokemon until yes, that's a shiny Rookity. I couldn't believe my eyes either, but I also felt bad. You see, my friend Jay recently got the shiny charm in Pokemon Sword, and he told me that the first Pokemon he's going to shiny hunt in that game is a shiny Rookity. Which, don't blame you, Corviknight is so good. I used one on that team and it was really good. But why does this matter? You see, he also wanted a shiny Zorua in Pokemon Scarlet, and I actually shiny hunted and got one. I named it Peas. I had a dilemma here, and I'm not talking about the Nelly song. I need to keep the shiny rate going, since I've had one in this video. I know 2 later on, I would have a second one, which is the shiny Meloetta, or I could just run away from it. Corviknight's a cool shiny. There's no way I'm not keeping it. You know what could make it feel a little bit better is that I was not purposely hunting for this. If I was hunting for it, I would have felt extra bad. But it was just luck. It was just straight up luck. I did not need it. I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. It just showed up. I do need to make sure I keep it away from Tinkaton's. I kept going, catching every Pokemon. However, in this session, I wanted to catch 3 certain Pokemon. 1 Surskit and 2 Ralts, 1 for Curlia. But I couldn't find them at all. I ended up getting sidetracked and got other Pokemon at South Providence Area 5, including a Pokemon I was shocked to find. Yeah, I don't know how I noticed this at all. Other than the shiny Deerling, I named this Finizen Symphony because of the recent memes. Session 3 started and I finally got the 3 I was looking for in the previous session. I then went to Tag Tree Thicket to look for an Applin. However, before the Teal Mask DLC, Applin might have been one of the hardest Pokemon to find. I couldn't find an Applin at all. This Applin was really hard to find. In fact, the first Applin I saw that day was a Zorua. I was so bored of banging trees. I went to Kitakami to get an Applin instead. After catching the Applin, I went back to Paldea and caught more Pokemon.
What are the chances?
Not a lot of things have happened, but I did learn that Zorua can't spawn in Sokaret's Trail. I am sorry if I mispronounced that. I then went to search for Petalil, which can be found in certain areas. So I decided to go South Providence Area 4, and similar to both the Surskit and the 2 Ralts, I couldn't find it at all. But I found something eventually. Well, add it to the counter! It was a similar issue to Applin. I even checked in another location Petalil spawns in, and still couldn't find it. I had to go to Kitakami again after catching more Pokemon and finding a number in the rain, even though the Pokedex said it hates the rain. I caught the last Pokemon I needed before the breeding began, and saw something in the distance before I set up a picnic. I'm so glad I saw it before I even set up a picnic. I caught 3 shinies in one day. I was generally shocked that it was happening. it was time for the breeding. I unfortunately didn't record any of the breeding because that was going to take too long. I had loads of Pokemon to breed and loads of time to wait. But it took forever. It took so long to get an egg generated in the basket, even if you have a Ditto with a different OT original trainer. In fact, I learned that any Pokemon transferred from Go has the same OT as your home OT. I had to use the Ditto I got when I did a raid a long time ago to get a Hisuian Zoroark on my team for a Hisuian Zoroark. Because I'm not using the event Zoroark. It is level 50. I am not using it on a team. It's not going to listen to me. Now, yes, I know it knows Happy Hour, but who cares? And the final straw was when I had a Ditto, which had my home ID, and a Bax Caliper who had Jay's OT in the party breeding it out. And refused to cooperate. I got so frustrated. I got one egg. One egg for a Frigibax. It was taking too long. I decided to get another one from Glaciato Mountain because of how long it was taking. But with the Pokemon eggs acquired, it's time to play a game of egg roulette. I don't know. Basically, I go around in circles in the center of Mesagoza and see what type it lands on. Why? Because it would seem fun. Here's what types I landed on for each of the hatches. For each one this round. Electric had Skrelp and Frigibax. Ice had the first Fuecoco, Stunky, and the second Larvitar. Psychic had the second Sprigatito, the second Quaxly, the first Larvitar, and the second Dino. Bug had the first Quaxly. Ghost had Drifloon. Steel had the first Sprigatito and first Dino. And Fairy had the second Fuecoco. Now, it's time to grind. I decided to go to Blueberry Academy this time because Blissey. And it's better experience.
Obviously.
Time to grind. How? I can't even make this up anymore. How? How is this happening? What I find funny about this shiny is that the Quick Ball didn't work, so the Charmander used Inferno, breaking the illusion of Jack Rose, my Hisuian Zoroark, for my playthrough team. It also burned, which makes sense, it's a guaranteed to burn if it hits, I'm pretty sure. I threw a Repeat Ball the turn after and caught it. What it looks like was, I'm not scared of this Pokemon, breaks illusion. I f***ed up. I finished up the session by bringing the Pokemon into home. I forgot to record it, but I got a pink Urchin from Shield. I forgot to record it, but I did it. I started the next session with the goal of catching every Pokemon in Kitakami, as well as getting the evolutions. There wasn't anything to note to catch in this part, so this was short. However, I was on the last straw for breeding. I know I had to do it one more time after this, but I was on the last straw. I set a Gliscor and a Ditto and a Picnic and waited for so long. It was ridiculous. I ended up ending the session early because of how frustrating it was. The following day, I finished up the session where I got every evolution except for Gligar because of how annoying breeding was yesterday. Doesn't matter. I still have one more to do later in the video. It's for Cranidos. Why did they have to make Cranidos and Shieldon version exclusive? After getting all the other evolutions, I switched over to Legends Arceus to see if I can get a Porygon or an upgrade. So I had to wait for a space-time distortion. By the way, I wasted time not realizing there was an upgrade at all. What you're about to see was a complete waste of time. It's happening. It is happening. It is happening. Space-time distortion has spawned, which means, can we get a Porygon? That's what I'm hoping for, because the reason why I'm here in the first place is because of Porygon. That Vespiqun's gonna be an issue, isn't it? Oh, now because the alpha got closer to me, it's just playing the alpha music. Stop showing me what's up your skirt. It's inappropriate. Oh. Quilava? Oh, the gang is here to play. I didn't catch the Quilava. Cyndaquil? I'll catch the Cyndaquil. Screw what the thing says. Cyndaquil is where, we need Cyndaquil. Another thing I could do is hope I get an upgrade. Because Like, if I don't find a Porygon, I could just get an upgrade and bring one from Violet. Because I know where they spawn in the polar biome. I can still catch this cool lava. Oh! Eevee! 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 I got the Eevee! Okay, that's all I care about. We can go now. We can go now. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Where? Because this is the only place to get Porygon in this game. Space-time distortions through this because basically the Pokemon can't really spawn in the past. It's developed by Silphco. But you could still get Porygon in this game. That also goes for Sneasel and Weavile, even though there's a Hisuian Sneasel. Oh, Umbreon! 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 No, 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 no. No. Change focus. Change focus. I want the Umbreon. I want the Umbreon. Oh, wait. Crap. No, give me... No! I couldn't get the Umbreon in time! I forgot how to play the game! Oh, I was trying to get that Umbreon. Are they still after me? They're still after me. Oh my goodness. Actually, no. Lopunny, I definitely need to get. Lopunny is definitely what I need to get. Eevee. Eevee. Oh, that's Smoke Bomb. Smoke Bomb. Well, well, that was a waste of time. Alright, now let's organize stuff. Oh wait, I do have an upgrade. I have a Dubious Disc as well. When did I get an upgrade? You know, this changes the game. Oh no, it's probably... This changes the game a whole lot. I would like to return to the village, Laventon. And I will probably not see you for the rest of the day because I have a freaking Gligar already in the box, so I don't have to worry about it. After the space-time distortion raid, I transferred the Gligar into Violet and moved all the Pokemon into Home and back. It was time to start to tackle the Blueberry decks, which in the first session didn't contain anything interesting. In fact, I caught an evolved Pokemon. That's it. Nothing else was there. No shinies, no nothing. However, the next day really was interesting. You see, in the end of this, Beldum can be found. Which is, by the way, the hardest non-legendary to catch, by the way. It has the same as most of the legendaries, the same catch rate. Plus, it only learns to tackle by level up. So, I decided to play a fun game. How many tackle PPs were left after catching the Beldum? I have to catch 2, so I want to see what you guessed in the comments below. And let me know if you actually got them correct. Tackle is 35 PP normally. So it would be interesting to see how many it can go, especially since I have my Hisuian Zoroark in the front of my party. So Tackle will do nothing. Struggle well though. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
That's called foreshadowing.
Now let's get to the first Beldum, and the entire thing was just throwing a quick ball and repeat balls, hoping it will work. A repeat ball did work eventually. I won't show you how much it has left. It helps with suspense. I encountered the next one and... Oh, however, I did realize I was running low on Pokeballs, so I had to buy more. And I saw this. After catching the Electabuzz, I encountered a third one who didn't struggle to death, so I caught it. Now, time to reveal to you how many PPs for tackle were left. The first Beldum had 23 tackles. I know, impressive, but not as impressive as the next one, which had 31 tackles left. That was 4 or 5 turns, and I caught it with the repeat ball. And now, time for the fun part. Getting the rarest starter in the game, Cyndaquil. This Pokemon only spawns in one cave in the polar biome and rarely spawns as well, making it a frustrating Pokemon to get. Now, there is another way to get more Cyndaquil. This is by breeding Typhlosion with a Ditto. So, if I didn't want to lose my mind, because not a single Cyndaquil is spawning, that could be an option. So, what did I choose? Sandwich. Are you crazy? Typhlosion was already into hot water from random stuff, not gonna say what it is, because of a mistranslation where it stated that a shape-shifting Typhlosion did stuff. By the way, the keyword was shape-shifting. It's clearly a Ditto, even though it was false. I didn't want my Ditto escaping and somehow making Typhlosion get in more trouble. Yeah, I don't think Typhlosion wants that. Like, it was already in hot water to begin with. Also, breeding's a big pain in the butt. I eventually got the 2 Cyndaquil I needed, so I continued and caught every other Pokemon, as well as breeding a Rampardos for a Cranidos. In the Egg Roulette, the Cranidos hatched on the Fire Spots. I then reopened Legends Arceus and evolved the Porygon into a Porygon 2. I was happy to be done. Since breeding was a big pain in the butt, I was so glad to get it done and not have to worry about it again.
That's called foreshadowing.
With that, the only Pokemon I had left were the Scarlet Paradox Legendaries, Koraidon, and Iron Leaves. Now yes, I feel like Iron Leaves and Walking Wake don't count towards it. Not even Petrarun, I'm pretty sure. But I still wanted to get them because they're cool. And I could have like an entire Paldea thing registered. I already had Petrarun registered in home, so why not? I asked Jay if he wanted to hang so we can both get the shiny Meloetta. He was okay with it, so we did the rest together. But also a good idea is to check the Pokedex in your game, your main Pokedex.
You already know I have every Pokemon, right?
I did not think about that.
We completed all the dexes together.
Yeah, but you have to check the Pokedex in the... Well, the only ones we didn't complete together... Oh, I just put P's in the box by accident.
You know what's stupid? For it to count in the Pokedex, it has to come from that game.
Wait, what? Yeah, it turns out they need to be either hatched, found, or acquired in Paldea, Kitakami, or Blueberry Academy. So that meant all the Ghost Shinies, Pincurchin, and the Gligar didn't count. Especially, I had the Galar Pokemon. Like, you know the Galar Pokemon that you can get with their hidden abilities? I put that in Scarlet and Violet. Evolved them to Rillaboom, Cinderace, and Inteleon. That's counted towards Galar. I was fuming. So, that meant I had to go find a Pincurchin as well as every other starter. What's also funny is that one of the shinies I got from Go and transferred over to Scarlet and Violet was a Bellsprout, which I actually had an outbreak at the time as well. After getting all the Pokemon that I had to catch to evolve, we were in the home stretch. We decided to trade with each other in home, which sadly didn't last long. I only recorded Raging Bolt and Iron Crown to the other person and nothing else. However, I did showcase that I completed the Paldea Pokedex on the Switch. The only 2 I needed left were Politoed and Gligar. I had to ask Jay if I could borrow his Politoed, since the one I had was my shiny one from Go. However, Jay sadly had to go, which I was able to get the Politoed, so that's one. There was only one Pokemon left. Gligar, which meant I have to breed. And just like usual, it took a while. So much that I lost my mind slightly. I eventually got the eggs and hatched it. The egg roulette chose grass. And that also meant it was finally time to get the shiny Meloetta. I transferred the Gligar into home, then Jay's Politoed in the Violet exclusives, and got the reward for completing the Pokedex. A mystery box containing the shiny Meloetta. I decided to showcase in Violet. So, here it is. Alright, I'm booting up the game. Well, I'm booting it up. Okay, let's, I guess, see, shiny Meloetta. We gotta fly to Blueberry Academy. Why? So we can synchro machine with Meloetta. I cannot believe this is real. It doesn't even feel real. But it's literally real. Let's go. Oh! That is so cool. Oh, Hatsune Miku in the game, everyone. Meloetta is so slow. Okay, that is something. Regular Solosis and shiny Meloetta. Oh my goodness. What's Relic song? Okay, it survived. Perfect. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh! What? Oh, you're kidding me. No, my Serene Grace! Oh my goodness, look at that. That is so cool. I have to zoom in. Look at that. That is so cool. Solosis is down. Oh my. I love that so much. Solosis gel. Alright, you know what? Let's wash the Meloetta. That is so cool. Thank you so much for watching the journey of pain, suffering, and the living hell it is to get this Meloetta. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a nice day.